Hi, I'm Anita of My Duke and I podcast, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you're seeing this show for the very first time, be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so when an episode comes out, you'll be the first to know. Well, I hope you're doing much better than me because right here in New York right now, it is hot, hot, hot. And literally, summer has pushed spring aside and thrust itself upon us because it is so humid and hot. I really don't like summer, to be honest with you. I'm from the Caribbean and I'm used to, having a warm temperature all year around. But that warm temperature in the Caribbean is dry, hot air. So it's, tolerable. But when you're here, you're dealing with this humid air and it's uncomfortable, especially if you don't have AC. I don't have AC in my home. My home was built in 1905, so my home is about 117 years old. It's a really, really antique home. So I'm afraid to put AC and all of those things in here because I don't know if this home can tolerate all of that. So I do open up windows and put my fan on, but if I put the fan on and record, it's just going to make a lot of noise. So I'm going to go back to my studio because I have a tiny AC in there and it's comfortable. So I'm going to be doing that as soon as this thing really kicks in. So I just hope you guys are feeling well wherever you are and you're nice and comfortable and unlike me right now. Let me drink my sweat. A lot of people may be asking, is she really like this? Is she really happy-go-lucky like this? Yes, I am. Everybody who knows me knows I have a happy disposition. I always look at the glass half filled as opposed to half empty. So I do have that disposition. Anybody who knows me will tell you that's how I am. Yeah. But anyways, let's move on to our show, and we have a lot to talk about. And what is going on is that the British media, they are mad as hell. They're mad because Meghan decided that she was not going to the coronation and they wanted their pound of flesh and they're not going to get it. They wanted that money shot. They wanted, they wanted headlines and they wanted, topics for their conversation, but they're not going to get it. She is not going and she has a right to decline, okay? So they're just really mad over there and they're writing everything and they're chastising her. Now the irony here is if you don't like somebody and you don't care about somebody, what do you care about what they do with their life? Huh? What do you care about what they do with their life? If they want to go off somewhere, that's not your business. If they don't want to go somewhere, that's not your business because you don't care about them. At least that's what they want us to believe, that they don't care about Meghan, but they really and truly care. Okay, Meghan, as I said, Meghan has been paying their bills for the longest while. And if it wasn't for Meghan, there would be, some of them would not be able to pay their rent, send their child to school, and put food on their table. So they have to thank her. They have to worship the ground she walks on because she is literally bankrolling them. That's how I look at it. But anyways, let us move on to talk about all the crazies that are putting their 2 cents in, in the idea that Meghan, as an adult, decided that she's not going to England to some coronation. Harry's over there. They're happy, right? Or they should be happy because they were always talking about, Harry should be in England. Now all you have Harry. All you seem like, it seems like they cannot be happy with anything. You cannot place them. So my grandma used to say, what she says, do good is bad. You might as well do damn bad and done. That's what my grandma was somebody else. She was very funny. So that's what she used to say. But they have Harry. Why are they fighting and carrying on like that. They're acting like brats, literally. But anyways, there's this one individual, particularly Kinsley Schofield. She is such a vile woman. When I look at the woman, I cannot believe what is coming out of the woman's mouth. She says the most random things and far-fetched things. I just cannot believe anybody is coming up with this type of thinking. So here's one of her latest crazy things that she said.
Archie and Lily, I would be so resentful towards my parents for not allowing me to participate in any way, shape, or form in, what is it, that is their birthright, to know their cousins, to be involved in the royal family and some of these historic traditions. I would be so resentful that I was held back to have a birthday party at Burger King. No thanks. I'd rather be at Buckingham Palace.
Ludicrous of that. That is so bizarre that you would be putting yourself in a little child that is not even 4 years old and deciding how that child should feel because of how you feel. Weird. Okay? It is just weird all around. Poor Archie. Leave Archie out of it. Archie doesn't even probably knows what is going on. I am guessing that Meghan is shielding and Harry is shielding him from all the crazy that is out there. And he doesn't even probably know what is going on. And why are you putting Archie in the middle of this conversation? I am not getting it. Somebody please make it make sense, because I'm not understanding it. Okay, so that's the crazy thing that she said. Now let us move on to Tom Bower. Okay, that man, he is so disgusting, it's not funny. So he is now claiming that it's because of Kate why Meghan is not coming to the coronation. That Kate said she didn't want Meghan there, one, and that if Meghan is coming, then she wants Meghan to sit somewhere far out with the lay people. And it was Kate's decision, Mumble's decision. Mumble has no power in her kingdom. Hello. She has absolutely no power. The girl cannot even read from a teleprompter, and she cannot even self-read from a notes card. So I don't know what power they're talking about. So at this point, I feel that these royal reporters, they're just making up stories. And I am just so shocked that somebody hasn't sued Tom Bower as yet for all the random things that he's coming up with. But as I was saying that, I just thought of, he's had a lot of lawsuits. He's in his past books that he has written, there was a lot of libel in those books. I think he was sued by somebody that was running for election in the UK. I can't remember the name of the person, but it was a prominent person that was running for election, and they and I think they had to pay Tom Bower, and who he was working for had to pay this man because that man won his lawsuit, and I think they had to retract some of the information that was in the book that he wrote. So he's been sued. So what that tells me that is that he's been proven to be a liar. And once a liar is always going to be a liar. So I cannot trust anything that this man is saying, that Tom Bower or whatever his name is. I'm really thinking, but you know something? I don't like to really insult people or say bad things about people, because look at me, there's a lot to say about me. So I'm not going there on his level, but I'm just saying to myself, I don't know why they are putting that man on television. It's just disgusting to look at. But anyways, another one again that is singing for his supper is Deepak Chopra. Now, if you remember, Deepak Chopra was on Meghan and Harry's first podcast that they did for Spotify, and he was on that show, and then he was also part of the 40 plus 40 of 40 times 40 Compassion in Action initiative that Meghan had for her birthday. And I think he had donated 40 minutes of his time to a lady that was going back into the workforce, and I think he was going to be her mentor, you know. So he's worked with the Sussexes in the past, and now he is talking about how, you know, Harry and Meghan are saying too much or whatever it is that he feels that they're doing that is wrong. Now, the funny thing about it is that I'm thinking that this man has gotten a ticket to the coronation, an invite to the coronation, and the best thing that um, he finds to do is to show his allegiance to Charles by going to the Daily Mail and talking that nonsense about Harry and Meghan. So it's amazing how people, just an invitation would cause them to lose all their dignity, and they would really and literally have to sing for their supper. That is what Deepak Chopra is doing. You would think a man that has published so many books, he's world renowned, he's well known, that he would stoop so low and speak negatively about somebody who has invited him on their show and showed him kindness, and then he turns around and he kicks them in their behind. That's what he's essentially doing to Harry and Meghan. And if anybody has any business to mind, it's Deepak Chopra. He should be minding his business instead of talking about Harry and Meghan and talking about other people. He knows that anything that he says, and especially the fact that he went to the Daily Fail. Sorry, I even said it wrong earlier. The Daily Fail. The fact that he went to the Daily Fail is nothing good that is coming from his mouth. And he knows whether he intended it to be positive, it's going to be flipped and it's going to be negative in the direction of the Sussexes. So he shouldn't be saying anything at all. And it just makes him look terrible as a person who has written several books, self-help books, as well as you know, a motivational speaker, and I think he does things on affirmation and wellness and what have you. It's terrible that he's speaking that way. You know, it's interesting because you're looking up to people like that to be sensible and to, you know, to be the person in the room that you can turn to, or, you know, that have their head on their body, they have it on straight. And then when you look towards these people, what it makes you, at the end of the day, with the things that comes out of their mouth, it makes you feel like, you know something, you should just do whatever that you feel that is right. Go with your conviction in life. Don't listen to these people. I hope people stop buying his book, okay, his books. But anyways, let's move on from him. I said enough about him. Now, so that is what that is going on in England. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and they're trying to, you know, put their 2 cents in and try to berate Meghan for not going to the coronation. And she has a right to decide her own destiny. She sees the world for herself. She sees what it is, and she should be able to make decisions for herself, not somebody else. Okay, so let them continue to talk. Now Samantha Markle is at it again. So she has amended her case. The judge had tossed out you know, a couple things that she had presented in her deposition, and but there was, I think there was 1 or 2 things that the judge told her that she can refile on or amend filing on. So she has followed suit, and she did that, and she has added even more. She said that the documentary for Harry and Meghan, she felt like it was an attack on her. Some of it was an attack on her, so she has included that in her new in her amendment. So she is going ahead with it. But as I'm saying, just as she filed it and it was tossed out the last time, the same thing is going to happen again. The judge is going to look at it, and they're going to go through that due process. It might take a little while, and in the end they're going to toss it out just like they did the first one, because clearly Samantha's case has no merit whatsoever. Okay, so They're losing, boy. These people, they know how to take an L. And what is troubling about it, they get up again and they go back again and take more. I'm like, when they say once bitten, twice shy, these people are not obeying that rule. Once bitten, twice shy. I took a L before. I ain't going back again and taking another L. But it seems like they love it because Meghan and Harry just keeps winning, and and they keep losing, and they love losing. I don't know when they're going to wake up and realize, that is not how you look good in the public. When you continue keep losing like that, it makes you look it really, really cheapens you, it makes you look really cheap, and kind of like, it makes you look bad. It makes you look like a loser. Okay. Anyways, so, oh, I wanted to talk about speaking of, the attack on Meghan and the smear campaign of Meghan that has been going on in the UK press since Meghan said that she wasn't going to the coronation. This man published, or he didn't publish, he posted a tweet showing that in one day there were 44 negative articles written about Meghan. And this man is new when it comes to this game. I remember making a slide showing all the articles that was written about Meghan in a day back in, I think it was in 2019, early 2019. So it was quite incredible, that post that he posted, and to see all the different headlines, and he listed them one by one. If you want to see that, you can go on Omid Scobie's Twitter, and you will see that because he reposted it. So it's really bad. It's really bad. And as I said, Meghan is their meal ticket, and that's the reason why they're doing that. That's the reason why they're doing that. So definitely, so we heard also too that Katy Perry and Lionel Richie have decided that they were going to perform at the concert for King Charles, or quote unquote King Charles. They were going to perform at the concert for him. And I'm not surprised about Lionel Richie, because Lionel Richie was part of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. I think he used to do a lot of performances for that trust, and he was a part of a lot of the activities where particularly in the Caribbean, with the they were given a lot of scholarships, the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. And with Charles, they did a lot of things together in the past, and they were giving out scholarships to young people in the Caribbean back in the day. So he was always a part of, the monarchy, doing things with them. And Katy Perry, well, she hasn't done anything lately, so she definitely is, trying to make sure that she stays in the limelight, that people still remember her name. And also, I remember very much how she criticized Meghan's dress. When Meghan wore her dress, she said Meghan needed another fitting for her dress, meaning that the dress was ill-fitting. I think she said something like that. So, although she and Meghan and Harry, and her child, and Orlando Bloom, I think that's her boyfriend or whoever it is, they live in the same neighborhood. So she's going over there to show her allegiance. And also, this is a woman that had voted in the last election for somebody that I think that was opposed to women's reproductive rights, I think. So if I'm wrong on that, please correct me. But I think that she's standing up for a lot of the things that those right-wing theorists stands for. So she's probably one of those monarchists and believe in that type of stuff. So I think she's going over there to perform for Chucky. Okay, good luck to her. Okay, we'll be seeing that on television. And yeah, and finally they're talking about how there's a poll, but when I looked really closely at the poll, and as I said, we have to stop really listening and believing in those polls that they're taking, because those polls are biased. The only poll that I really believe in is that Time 100 read a poll. That's the only poll where Harry and Meghan came out third and fourth. They got about 1.2% of the vote and some other number, I think, and out of the 1.4 million votes that were cast. So kudos to Harry and Meghan, bravo to them, that those are real polls and they're not biased. Because the last poll that I saw in the papers, and they were talking about Harry and Meghan, they were talking about their numbers are going down in the US. That is not true. That poll was associated with a reporter that resides in the United Kingdom, although he works for Newsweek. So you cannot believe anything that these people are saying. You really have to look close at the material, because he resides in England, so he's one of those royal reporters that want to be in line, or wants to be aligned with those others in the United Kingdom, because we can all remember what they did to Omid. Once Omid started reporting the truth, and Omid wasn't always like this, may I just remind you guys. Omid used to do a podcast back in the day, and that is the reason why my podcast came about, is because of Omid and another girl that was doing this podcast, and I was like, why am I listening? Because he never was really correcting these people. He was like not saying what they were saying. He was a little like, he didn't want to go on the attack. Now he's full on. He just says what is on his mind, and I'm proud of him. But I used to really send those tweets to him and saying, oh, but you're just sitting there and letting these people say these things and you're not defending Meghan. That's what I used to say to him. And once I saw him, was there and he wasn't like fighting, for the truth, I said, there's no reason for me to listen to, to Omid. I'm going to do my own podcast. And this is how this podcast came about. So some of these people that are over there, they're afraid to be, they're afraid to speak the truth because, God forbid, they will be, like how high schoolers behave. If you're not my friend, I'm going to torment you. I'm going to be mean to you. So if he doesn't, go along with their program and what they believe and the smear campaign and what have you, they'll turn on him. So he published this poll saying that Harry and Meghan's ratings are going down. That's a lie. You really have to look at the source of these reportings. Yes, so that's it for now. This is what is going on. And lastly, I saw a tweet recently. I think Omid posted a tweet with an article in Bazaar magazine, and Charles sort of hinted that he was proud of William and Harry. He takes pride in them. So he was giving a speech, and in that speech he was, telling the congregation, which were military personnel, that how he feels like people are proud of him here. And then he referred to Harry and William when they had finished their military services and the parades that they had. So he sort of felt the same way. So he sort of, in not coming out directly but indirectly, saying that he's proud of Harry and William. So take it for what it is. We don't know, but if it's a man that is proud of his children, he would not have treated them the way that he has treated them. So it is what it is. But anyways, have a wonderful day. Take care and bye.